Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Barry Selby. This is my daily Facebook Live, number 180. 180, yes. They're getting up there. Before I get started, let me just say who I am, or about. I'm a best-selling author, speaker, and relationship attraction expert, helping strong, successful women find balance in love, life, and business. I'm also a passionate champion of the divine feminine. And being English, I have a certain investment in the news that's been coming up the last couple of days, which is about what's his face? Meghan and the Prince getting together. I went in my head. Prince William getting together. And I've spoken before, maybe, talking about the hierarchy and the lineage, but also the archetypes for the king and the queen in masculine and feminine polarity. And I'll get to that again in a moment. But I want to speak just initially to this breaking news of the royal romance, because it speaks to something very important, which is these two people, a prince in the royal family in England and an American actress who was in Canada, actually who I've met. We've actually met a couple of times when her mother comes to the spiritual center I go to, and they were there a couple of times and I got to meet her, and she's a very sweet lady, very cool. But two things. First of all, they didn't meet through Tinder. So I'll speak to that right up front. They met through a friend's introduction. How old-fashioned of them. The truth is, sometimes... let me say another way. Online dating isn't that great, you know. Just I'm applying that one right now. Just stick that one on the table. The online dating scene is such a... it's such a game, to be honest, and it's really not the best way of doing things. That's one reason I created online programs, to help women attract the right relationship, because the way you do it when you go online and hoping you find something is a joke. But what happened with the way that the names will come back to me, wow, they just went out of my head. The prince and the actress got together. I'm using the generic term, sorry, because the name just escaped me for a second. How they got together was through a friend's introduction. It was a blind date, but it worked out pretty well, apparently. That's one thing. Second thing is... they got engaged within 18 months of getting... Actually, no, less than that. It's probably about 15 months they got engaged. Which, is that good? Bad? It's up to you. But it's not a long engagement. It's also not a short one. They took their time. And what I loved about what I heard the announcement, I actually saw the interview they did, which I recommend you watch, because there's some good stuff in there. Another component is that they have shared values. The work that she does, the work that he does, is not the same, but it's the same direction. And that is such a profound piece. And I'll get to that in a moment about the King and Queen piece that I want to talk about as well. So having them be on the same page in terms of both about service, I think the second date, or the third time they get together, he invited her to go with him to Botswana in Africa. And they camped under the stars. Yeah, very romantic, but he was out there to serve. And she went with him. And to enroll your future partner in something of service to help other people, that's high marks in my book. That is extremely high value. So I want to say that part too. Another thing, third point, is she's 4 years older than him. Yes, she's older than him. That speaks volumes too. So I'm just saying these things out there because so many people had the opposite perspective, or have said, traditional values are this, this, and this. Well, let me throw another piece on the table by the number 4. She's mixed race, which upset a lot of people in the far right over here. Like, what's that going to do with anything? Yeah, she's been married before. Well, that happened with Prince Charles. He got married to his wife, who was also a divorcee, and that's happened before. She'll never be queen, just so you know, because one, it's too far down the line of royalty, but also she'll be a duchess, if anything. That'll be what she'll get to be, which is kind of cool. But the thing is, just to think about the quality of choices that were made, the way it worked out, and the path and methods they used. So I just want to leave that to sit with that. So let me switch over gears to the King and Queen piece I was mentioning in the title. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, who's in a parallel overlapping conversation. We got some stuff brewing, I can feel it, because she is involved in helping men move into their developed masculine. I call it developed masculine, or I think she called it evolved. We have an interesting overlapping conversation, and she works with men to help them step into their kingship. And I realize I help a lot of women own their queen qualities, which are parallel to being the goddess and the priestess I've talked about before. And for a really authentic, healthy relationship, a man who's stepped into his fully developed masculine, which is the king, and be with a woman who's in a fully developed feminine, which is the queen, is a non-royalty but a true, what's the word I'm looking for, evolved perspective. And so I wanted to add that to the conversation. And for me, frankly, this context is something that most people aren't aware of. For those of you out there who basically go onto Tinder every day, or to some other dating app or website or Match, and swipe and look and search and hope to find somebody that fits your qualities, you're doing it backwards. Yes, and be clear about that. You're doing it backwards. What do I mean by that? It's funny you ask. Let me explain a couple of things. When you're out there scanning the horizon to find someone who might fit what you want, versus, and this is for the ladies particularly, getting clear inside about who you are, what your values are, what your requirements are, and also what doesn't work for you. If you do that first, then your search will be different. Because for a start, you're not just going randomly going, maybe, maybe not, maybe, maybe not, swipe right, swipe left. You'll actually be getting there with a clarity of intention that will actually draw to you more choices that will fit what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, it doesn't matter where you go. If you don't know if you don't know where you're going, any destination will do. If you are just going on the smartphone apps to try and find a date, and all your criteria is somebody of the opposite gender, if that's your preference, or some of the same gender if that's your preference, your choices are, yes, more choices, but how many choices are within what you really want? Not a lot. So I recommend step 1 isn't swiping. I'll do a talk about that tomorrow perhaps. Step 1 is not swiping. No, step I say swiping is probably about step 20. Step 1 is starting inside. I've talked about this before. I have an old program built for this, which is 8 modules. So that means swiping will be step 9 at least. 8 steps that will take you from where you are to where you want to be to attract the right relationship. I've learned over the years of my own study, and I've been in this journey, for this work for over 30-something years, and I've picked up quite a few keys and tips along the way about attracting love, about being the love you want to be to attract the love you want to have. Being the love you want to be, yeah, that works. And that's part of the program I've created. That's part of the work I do with my clients. In fact, a lot of the work I'm doing lately with my clients seems to be around the area of healing the wounds to love themselves. It isn't what I market. It's not the branding that sounds like I help my clients love themselves. That doesn't really work. But what I really do feel, so I make sure my phone is plugged in because my it is okay because my phone display is going darker, and so is the room. Okay, I'm using ambient light, which is not very bright right now. All right, back on track. Excuse me. So, a lot of what I'm doing with my clients is helping them love themselves. They are all amazing women, and they're all growing through the challenges they've had in the past. So what I've been doing, what my work has been with them, is serving them, supporting them, is helping them heal the wounds so they can love themselves. That's not what I put on my brochures. That's not what I put on my website. But it's what I do. So if you are aware that what you really need is support on the internal, that's where my strength is. And to help them heal and help them grow and help them love who they are so they can become attractive and not need somebody else, that's the secret to true love. Yes, it is. And they're also becoming more into their queen status. So king and queen, if you're getting in late, by the way, I'd go back and watch from the beginning because the prince actress piece I just talked about, that's because it's a real royal family, versus king and queen in the metaphorical or in the archetypal conversation, is there's a distinct evolution that we're going through. And the more of us men who own our kingship versus our tyrant or our, what's one looking for? There's a falseness, there's a word, I haven't got the word, I don't know where it is, I'll come back to me. But there are women out there who basically are not choosing to be in their queen either. So part of the work I'm bringing to the planet, part of the service I'm bringing to the world around me, is to help educate the women to own their queen qualities as feminine leaders and feminine authority, which then draws to the men who will stand with them, because anything less than that they won't be interested in. So when they find a man that stands with them, he'll be in his kingship. And that's the big work. So I just want to put that out, just to speak about that. And I was talking about the prince and actress to start this because I was kind of enamored by that. And if you didn't see the interview, I recommend you go on. I think it's on Huffington Post website. They actually have the interview from this Canadian contributor. I think it was an English interview of Prince Harry and her name just went out of my head, Meghan, talking about how they met and stuff. And it's a really cool expression because the reality is they didn't use a dating app. Thank God. As you can tell, I'm not a big fan of the dating apps, at least not in the sequence you probably choose them. Anyway, I've covered this. I've talked about it. Thanks for watching. I'm signing off because I've got somewhere else to be. It's a short broadcast, I know. I just want to get this one out there quickly because I've got stuff to work on tonight. I've got things to do, But thank you for watching. This is my daily Facebook Live, number 180 of Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart. They all exist on my website, under barryselby.com. You go to the video blog to watch them. My program I mentioned is also on my website, which is Attract the Man You Want. As is my coaching. You can find that on there as well. So you find all my stuff on my website. And I invite you to join me every day. I do a daily Facebook Live. This is number 180 in an ongoing series of talks about love, about life, about masculine and feminine polarity, about women in their feminine leadership, about men being in their true, authentic masculine. There's some good stuff in my broadcast. You might want to follow me. I'll talk to you again tomorrow, and I do invite you to take care of yourself because you deserve to have the best, be the best, and love the best. I'll see you again tomorrow.